In order to earn money after giving birth, I became a temporary milkmaid after an acquaintance's recommendation. Feed Lou's 3-year-old son, but I did not expect her 3-year-old child to move on me like an adult when I was working normally. And the rhythmic movements actually managed to mess up my mind. I was born with an eye disease and my vision is almost close to total blindness. For the years my husband has spent almost all the family's savings on treating these eyes of mine, and the birth of our child has added to the already poor family's woes. My physical disability prevented me from finding a suitable job as a normal person, but I couldn't bear to put all the family's burdens on my husband. So on the recommendation of my hometown Jew, I became a temporary nursemaid, and Sister Lou was my first client. The cost of part-time child feeding in the market is usually around $6,000, but Sister Lou could give me a salary of nearly $15,000. It's just that her child is a bit special, a bit old, supposedly just after his 3rd birthday. In our hometown there is no such big child still breastfeeding, although there are doubts in my heart, but still did not ask more. After all, she gave really quite a lot of money. But Sister Lou has 2 requirements for the milkmaid. The first is the upper body to be plump at least. The second is the waist must be waist thin. She said that her children like waist thin cut big. Knowing this demand, I once again frowned. This feed a child also whole with to enter the showbiz beauty pageant dead. But a Jew but toward me, this you do not understand. Now rich people also look at the image, and then you have a big there, the child will feed well, if not in your favor. I would like to go to do this job, after all, $15,000 it. I think about it, after all, this cost here. So the next day, I followed the address on the location, took a car to the Sister Lou's home. Sister Lou's child called Yang, the first contact with this child. I feel he is very polite, although not old, but very obedient. There is just one thing that makes me a little uncomfortable, is that Yang likes to eat while moving his hands on my waist, rubbing around feeling like an adult in general. I was teased by his dishonest little hands to the point where my cheeks were flushed, and a few times I even directly had other reactions that I shouldn't have had. Auntie, I still want more, Yang said as he burrowed even harder into my arms. Auntie, your body smells so good. Yang, don't be too vigorous, don't touch Auntie's waist, you're still young, you can't develop the habit of touching girls indiscriminately. I said and gently touched Yang's head with my hand. How do I feel that his head looks like an adult's head circumference? Although I can't see with my eyes, but my sense of touch and hearing is very sensitive. Not only did I feel his head with my hands more than the average child's head, but I could also hear his deeper and deeper gasps, not at all like a 3-year-old child. But just when I was full of doubts, came Yang's tender voice, Auntie, I don't want to eat. I gasped. This was clearly a child's voice. I must have overthought it because I was under too much mental stress. Okay, then Auntie will come back tomorrow to feed you, I said as I prepared to put on my own jacket. But I didn't expect that right at this moment. Yang directly pushed me down. He rubbed his head against me on one side and pampered me on the other. Auntie, don't go, what if I get hungry later? Yang's strength is amazing. The moment I was pounced on made my heart beat faster. Such a small child, I do not know where he got the strength, and then a child how to behave so rude. Don't stop, Yang, you quickly from Auntie down, a moment hungry, later can eat complimentary food I said half pushing Yang. The next second he was directly yelling at me, if you don't stay, you won't be given the settlement money. As he spoke, Yang's little hands began to turn on me again. Didn't you just say that you're not eating anymore, that you're full? What are you doing now? If you keep this up, I'll really get angry. Seeing that I could hardly control it, I had to increase my tone. But Yang didn't seem to buy it, and I couldn't even use my strength with half of my body pressed down. Just as I was struggling, suddenly came Lou's voice from outside the door, Stop it, Yang, hurry up and get down from Auntie. Hearing Sister Lou's words, Yang reluctantly stopped his hand movements. I sat up and gasped for air, then hurriedly put on the clothes that were half removed. At this time, Sister Lou apologized towards me, Xiaoyener, I'm really sorry, this kid has a bad temper, don't mind too much. It's okay, Sister Lou, he's still a child, I said, picking up the bag beside me and getting up to leave. I didn't expect Sister Lou to come forward to stop me. Xiaoyener, it's still raining heavily outside, you can stay here today, and then I'll give you $2,000 more, okay? $2,000. If you stay here for one night, you can earn an extra $2,000, I immediately agreed. Sister Lou is also very quick, then put the cash into my hands, but who knows, this is the beginning of my nightmare. After that I gave home a call, my husband heard the money added, and returned the cash immediately, told me to send me the clothes. By the evening, after dinner, Lou went out for a walk and asked me to take care of Young at home. But she just left the front foot, the back foot. Young pushed open the door of my bedroom, when I was changing pajamas, not waiting for me to react, he has come up to embrace my waist. Immediately after that, his small hands began to grope on my body, which behaved like a grown man provoking a woman. I immediately got a little fired up and immediately stopped him. Young, don't be in such a hurry, you wait for Auntie to get ready. Auntie, I'm hungry, I want to eat now. I can't wait. Young shouted as he pushed me right into the chair behind him. I couldn't help but sigh. Hey, why are you so monkeyish? It's not like I won't give you food. As soon as the words fell, Young immediately let go of my waist and waited for me to lift up my clothes to feed him. Immediately after that, Young directly burrowed into my arms, his movements were even more violent than earlier, and his hands kept wrapping around my waist. Accompanied by the sound of his heavy breathing, my heart followed and pounded. I don't know why I actually developed a feeling of shyness, but gradually I also enjoyed it a little. But it's no wonder, since having a child, my husband and I have been getting together less and less, let alone intimate warmth. Although Young is a child, but this come up to the behavior like a grown man, between the touch makes me a little numb. But I just gave him not 2 sips, he smashed his mouth and said to me, Auntie, you haven't taken a bath yet. Huh? I froze for a moment. It's so hot today, and you've sweated a lot, the flavor of my drink feels changed. Young said while releasing me. It turned out that he resented the fact that I smelled, but yes, the smell of sweat in this summer did make the child feel bad about the taste. So I said with some embarrassment, if you can't, Auntie will go wash now, but you have to take Auntie to your family's bathroom. Okay. Young said, stretching out his little hand to lead me towards the door of the room. When I arrived at the bathroom, I touched the faucet inside, and after roughly familiarizing myself with the environment inside, I said to Young, Auntie is going to start bathing, can you go out for a bit first? Although I couldn't see, I could feel that Young hadn't left, and at the moment he was staring straight at me. Seeing no response, I asked again tentatively, Young, did you hear me? I hear you, Auntie, I'll turn the light on for you. As I spoke, I heard the sound of a switch, followed by a few soft footsteps. Figuring he should be gone, I thought, patting myself on the back before turning around and slowly groping my way to the bathroom door, closing it behind me as I went. Now I could finally relax a little. I've been wanting to take a shower for a long time now, I thought as I took off my pajamas a little bit at a time. Aimed at the faucet in front of me and began to rinse, along with the gentle sound of the water flow, my mood also began to become relaxed. I don't know what in front of Young, I always felt a little nervous. Maybe subconsciously I always felt that he was not like a child. Just as I was about to reach out for the shower gel, my hand seemed to have touched a clump of hair, and immediately my fingers shrank. Young, is that you? I said and turned off the faucet, and there was no more murmur around me except for the sound of dripping water. It may be touching something else, this is only a 3-year-old child, how can he do the thing of peeping at a woman's bath? His brain is estimated to be not even fully developed. So I turned around and then turned on the faucet, but suddenly I felt a warm breath coming from underneath me. It was as if someone was blowing hot air at me. At first I didn't care, I just wanted to hurry back to my room after rinsing, feed Young and then have a good rest. After all, I've been tossing and turning all day. But just when I give the whole body to wipe good body wash, where the warmth is more and more obvious, let me momentarily some cannot help. But just when that thought arose in my mind, it felt like a small hand touched me at the moment. Instantly my body tensed, the whole person froze in place. Immediately after I turned off the faucet again, then listened carefully to the sounds around me, and tentatively asked, Young, you're not allowed to be naughty, peeping at Auntie's bath is a bad boy. After saying that, I proceeded to shout 2 more times. But the feeling just now was clearly real. How come there is no sound at all this time? Could it really be my problem? I was too nervous. I gulped, but the entire bathroom had no other sound except my own breathing. Even if Yang was no longer obedient, it wouldn't be so bad that he had to come and peek at me 3 times, right? In the end he was still a 3-year-old child, he still didn't understand anything. Just as I was thinking, I turned on the faucet in front of me, and the warm stream of water gave my heart temporary peace. In order to keep myself from thinking blindly, I shook my head violently and rubbed hard towards my temples twice. This maneuver, in turn, caused a light to break in before my eyes. There was light in my eyes, I could see things. In a few seconds, the vision in front of me went from blurry to clear, and immediately my heart burst with ecstasy, so I couldn't jump up immediately. But unexpectedly, just when I wanted to take a good look at my surroundings, I felt my buttocks being gently touched. I screamed and dodged a step backward, facing Yang's big head right between my bends. After seeing my frightened appearance, Yang covered his mouth and looked up towards me laughing straight, and it was only then that I got a good look at the child. Instead of being a child, it is better to say that it is an adult who has not grown up. The large head circumference coupled with the old face, how to look at it is impossible to be a 3-year-old child. Could it be that this Yang was an overgrown midget, and behind him stood a man who looked just like him? And at this moment, the 2 people in front of me were fully clothed in only one piece of close-fitting clothing, and then were looking at me with a gangly smile on their faces. What makes me feel even more fearful is that the man's hand is also holding a cell phone and is facing my direction. I instantly soft feet, really cannot dream of Lou's sister. This 3-year-old child is actually a midget, or a twin midget, it is really unimaginable. And my mind instantly understood why Sister Lou must have a blind person in the first place. It was because she didn't want others to know about Yang's condition. No wonder when I fed Yang before, I always felt that there was something strange somewhere, especially when he was being dishonest. He was furtive towards me for a while, causing me to feel uncomfortable all over. At first I thought it was my problem, but now it seems that it's actually all because he's an adult. Up to this point I didn't know what they were trying to do, but the only thing I was sure of was that they hadn't realized that I could see with my eyes. They probably still thought that I couldn't see anything, that's why they were so bold to admire at my body. Just as I was thinking about it, Yang, who was holding a cell phone, was getting closer and closer towards me, and even pursed his lips before stretching out his salty piggy hands towards me. I feel a wave of nausea in my heart, but I can't reveal that I have regained my sight. I can only endure, although I am a normal adult woman, but after all, the other party is 2 men, even if they don't have an advantage in height, but their strength is not small. If they really struggle, I may not be able to escape. So I can only pretend that I didn't recover, and then find the right opportunity to escape. As I was thinking, Yang handed the cell phone in his hand to Yang, and then rushed at me and made some disgusting gestures, and then took his fingertips and poked the skin of my waist. Immediately, goosebumps rose all over my body, my scalp tightened up afterward, and my heart almost jumped out of my throat. Yang, are you in the bathroom? Make a sound if you are. I tried to maintain my composure and continued to ask as if I was invisible. At this point, the bathroom was still elegantly silent, and as I spoke, I slowly reached for the bath towel on the shelf, wiped it off, and wrapped myself in it. But once I turned my head, I saw these 2 midgets looking at me with an evil look in their eyes, and that look made me shiver in my heart. Now I have entered the tiger's den. These 2 dwarfs seem to be repeat offenders. If they know I can see, may want to deal with me how. Now I can only stall them, and then find the right time. So I saw the situation and continued to say to them, if this time Yang in the bathroom is good, I cannot see, in the words can also help me a little bit. Besides Yang so cute and obedient, if it is not invisible, I would like to take Yang with the bath it. Seeing me talking to myself and being so obedient, the 2 people in front of me were looking at me with glowing eyes. Hearing me say this, Yang was still ready to take his cell phone and go up towards me, but he didn't expect to be stopped by the Yang number 2 in front of him. It seems that this number 2 should be the older brother. Currently it seems that this brother has a good impression of me, so for the time being, he shouldn't take any strong action against me. I fumbled my way towards the bathroom door step by step, and as I did so, I called out Yang's name in all directions, hoping that he would come out to fetch me back to my room. Yang, where are you? Auntie has already finished her bath, so she can continue feeding you food, so come out quickly, okay? I said, walking towards my bedroom. But a sweep of the afterglow suddenly saw a woman wearing a cheongsam was sitting on the sofa in the living room, looking down at her phone. As soon as I guessed, I knew that this person should be Sister Lu, so I deliberately said, Yang. Sister Lu. Is anyone there? With that I said while touching towards the door of the room, and just as I was about to go in, Sister Lu got up and pulled me to a stop. Little Yenner, are you done washing? It's fine just like this, it's also convenient to feed the child. As she spoke, she pretended towards her side, Yang, don't play hide and seek with Auntie, hurry up and come out, after feeding you, Auntie still has to rest. The words just fell, Yang and Yang too directly toward my direction originally, plus Sister Lu, 3 people directly surrounded me into a circle. Immediately after that Yang came forward and wrapped his arms around my waist, Auntie, you hurry up, I'm hungry to eat. While saying that the Yang too beside me also took a step closer to me, it looks like it shouldn't be the first time they let me feed them, knowing that only now I realized that they have been taking turns in eating. In a flash, my face turned pale. Seeing that there was something wrong with my face, Yang was concerned towards me while making Yang keep moving closer towards me. Auntie, are you not feeling well? I see that your face is white. No, it's probably because I didn't wear any outside clothes, I just wrapped a bath towel around me, so I'm a bit cold. I said as I touched my arm. But I didn't expect that just after the words were said, Yang rushed towards me without any further ado, and he directly pounced on me in the room. I soothingly touched the big head in front of me, slow down, kid, no one is stealing food from you. As he spoke, he looked up at me, and the scarlet and heat in the bottom of his eyes made me instantly understand what he had in mind. Before I could struggle, his small hands had already uneasily untied the bath towel on my body, and although he wasn't a big man, he was still a grown man. And now that there are so many of them, I am now alone, and looking at their movements, I guess that they are definitely going to violate me in the next second. No, I must save myself. Just at this moment, I also saw not far away, Sister Lu was holding up her cell phone and kept walking in our direction, and the ringing sound from the phone was like the sound of a live broadcast. In an instant I was in a cold sweat. Is this an illegal live broadcast? It turns out that these people not only want to rob sex, but also use these scenes to make more violence, and the blind girl can greatly increase the gimmick of it. If this continues, I'm going to be seen by all the people on the opposite side of the camera. If I don't save myself now, it'll be too late in a while. Yang, don't be so vigorous. If you want to eat well, you let Auntie take off all the bath towels, but Auntie is afraid of catching a cold. Can you help close the door to the room? I said, holding back the pain in my heart, still kept stroking his face with my hand. When he heard me say that, he really stopped his hand movements, then he looked back at Yang and waved his hand at him. Sister Lu, why don't I just finish stripping and feed Yang directly? Wouldn't that be more convenient? He's still young anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem, right? I spoke towards Sister Lu. Would this not be too good? Sister Lu said and looked at Yang. From the attitude of the two, it was clear that this Yang too was not only Yang's brother or the boss of the 3 of them. Before I opened my mouth, Yang number 2 immediately said, Auntie feeds me like that, I like it, just let Auntie feed me like that. Then. Well, hard work, little Yenner. Sister Lu finished nodding at Yang no too. This midget in my arms quacked a smile, sniffing. I nodded and said, no hard work, this is what I should do. As I spoke my body lurched and my head directly hit the wall. I covered my forehead in pain, but now Sister Lu and Yang were even more relieved. After all, a woman who can't see with both eyes has no threat to them anymore, because of her blindness, so naturally she can't escape from them. Seeing that the door was closed, I took advantage of the time when Yang number 2 locked the door, and casually pulled over a nightgown and put it on, and also incidentally stuffed the medicinal packet that had repelled mosquitoes earlier into my clothes. Auntie, didn't you say you were going to finish taking it off and feed me? Why did you put the dress on? Yang said with a very disgruntled tone. I hurriedly explained, Yang, don't you think this dress is pretty? It's more suitable than feeding you without clothes. Besides, Auntie isn't wearing any clothes inside. if you don't like it, why don't you help Auntie take the skirt off again? Don't like it, Auntie, you'd better take off your clothes, I like to eat naked. Yang, Ara said, taking a step closer to me. It was too late. Just as Yang number 2 lifted my skirt and came up towards me, I took out my medicine bag and directly covered his mouth and nose with precision. Yang number 2's strength was even greater than Yang seemed to be, but wrapped in the skirt plus the medicinal effect of the medicine packet, it didn't take long for him to pass out. At this time I quietly opened the window of the room, and then climbed down the pipe. After escaping, I ran like crazy in the direction of home. I thought that when I got home, I could get comfort from my husband, or he would go to those bad guys for me to seek justice. But I did not expect. I just arrived at the door, I saw the picture that broke my heart. To the door of the house, I found the door is not closed, thought it was hot husband to the home ventilation. But when I pushed open the door, just walked to the living room, I saw scattered clothes, not only men's clothes and women's skirts and hot intimate apparel. At that time my heart thumped, my husband cheated. Just at this moment, the inside room came bursts of laughter, just received such a shock, but I behaved unusually very calm. Immediately after I walked gently in the direction of the sound. When I lay on the doorway to see, I saw the housemen and women snuggled together. And that woman was no one else, it was none other than my fellow countryman Aju, who kindly introduced me to the job. Brother Jiqiang, what do you think will happen if something happens to Xiaoyan at Sister Lu's place? Ju said while drilling into her husband Jiqiang's arms. Jiqiang reached out and gathered her in his arms. It's better if something happens to her, then I can kick her out of the door and marry you. Originally, if it wasn't for the fact that my parents had made a promise to her parents, I would have married a blind man. I've been kind to her for so many years. That's right. Anyway, Sister Lu's side gave us all the money. The Jew said and smiled at Jiqiang, but if Xiaoyan can still come back, what if she finds us then? Jiqiang laughed coldly at the sound of his voice. Do you think she'll come back? If she can come back, she won't come to us. How would she think that this has anything to do with us? It doesn't matter even if she finds us, we'll just send it back to her, she won't see it anyway, and we'll make money again. Simply heartless, but Zhao Jiqiang is right about one thing, that is, I really did not think that he and Ju behind the ghost, and did not think that I married him for so many years. In fact, he is not willing. Although at the moment my heart is broken, but I cannot just compromise, and then again, when Sister Lu found that I escaped, will certainly call them to ventilate. Just now Jiqiang said that even if I come back, they will also find a way to send me back, then I might as well eye on the trick. Just as I was thinking, I took advantage of the time when the two of them were getting ready to be passionate again, and deliberately made a loud noise. Hubby, are you at home? You quickly come out, something big has happened. I shouted and cried at the same time, instantly scaring the two people in the house. Immediately after that, Zhao ran out, while a Jew was also on her feet and started putting on her own clothes. Wife, how did you run back in this state? Zhao Jiqiang said and touched the sweat on his forehead. I saw this and cried out towards him, honey, do you know what that Sister Lu is? She actually secretly filmed a video of me feeding my child, she's simply a pervert. Hearing me say this, Zhao Jiqiang immediately asked, are you telling the truth? Then how did you find out? Of course it's true, you don't believe me when I speak. As I cried, I said, although I can't see with my eyes, I have good ears. Every time I feed the baby, I can hear the video recording, there's no one else in the house, it must be Sister Lu, so I ran out while they weren't paying attention. Hearing me say this, Zhao Jiqiang pretended to be very angry. This rich people are simply worse than pigs and dogs. At first I said that giving so much money is definitely not insurance. No, I must find them to settle the score. Speaking, Zhao Jiqiang is going to go out to find Sister Lu to settle the score. I went up to stop, forget it, fortunately I escaped. You go cannot fight people, the big deal is that I will find the next family. Hearing my words, Zhao Jiqiang gave a Jew a wink, signaling her to hurry and go first. But what they don't know is that my eyes have long seen their small movements clearly. Just as a Jew was about to go out, I suddenly turned around and rushed at her. Hey, is there someone coming from home? I heard some other footsteps. See, I found out, the Jew is not good to hide again, so generously said, Xiaoyan, it's me, I also just came, when you came back I was in the restroom, came out to hear you say this thing. I really am sorry for you, but I don't know that Sister Lu is like this. Not blame you. Aju, you also want to help me, this person cannot say. I sighed as I said, but Aju, you have a wide range of contacts here, when the time comes, you have to help me introduce other proprietors again. Seeing that I didn't find anything else fishy, Aju smiled and promised me with her mouth full, okay, don't worry, I'll definitely introduce you to a better one this time. Then I won't disturb your couple's reunion, I'll go back first. The words just fell, saw Aju to go, but was Zhao Jiqiang a pull from behind, and then the two deliberately closed the door. Aju went back to the second bedroom. These two people will not face the word interpretation to the extreme. At night, I was sleeping in a daze when I heard the two men's voices coming from next door. They were really judging the next day to send me back to that wolf's den again, and both had already agreed on a price with Sister Lu once again. But the good thing was that they didn't know that I had regained my eyesight, as well as knowing that I had seen Sister Lu and the two twin midgets doing the deed together, so I was going to make all of these people pay for it this time. I had a sleepless night that night. To the next day, the Jew pretend Dusty looked to home to find me, a meeting she told me happily, Xiao Yanera, to tell you good news, there is an employer needs you to feed their own daughters like this, you can rest assured that absolutely will not appear last time, is the cost is not so much, a month of 7,000, you cannot do. What new employer, clearly want to send me back again, simply lying without blinking. Okay, that's not bad for 7,000, I'll do it. I said and paused, but this time I'm still a little worried, or else when I go to feed for the first time, you and Jiqiang will accompany me, okay? Seeing that I agreed, and that the request I made was not excessive, the Jew nodded her head at me and said, okay, then I'll accompany you. Jiqiang heard also dared to come rush to me said, good, that I also accompany you, to give you the courage, and also good to know you this new owner is what people, can no longer let you be wronged. After everything was ready, the two brought me to Lu's door again. After the door opened, I pretended to be very calm and followed Jiqiang, and a Jew walked in. Just after the entrance, I was invited into the room by Sister Lu, who used a voice changer. But what they didn't know was that at this moment, I had already captured everything that was happening in this room on my cell phone's camera. Just as these two twins were about to commit violence against me, I violently pushed them away to hide in the restroom and unlocked the door. Open the door, you, open the door, if you don't, we'll kick it in. Yang outside the door yelled. I forcefully pressed my back against the door. Don't dream, I'm not going to open the door, I've recorded all your scandalous deeds, just wait for someone to come and arrest you. As soon as the words fell, Zhao Jiqiang rushed up, get out of the way, I'll ram it. Now my heart began to panic. After all, Zhao Jiqiang is a normal adult man. Just as the door was about to be crashed open, siren sounded outside the door. The moment I was saved, my entire body collapsed to the ground. After that, several people were imprisoned for allegedly breaking the law, while Zhao Jiqiang and Aju were also imprisoned, and I not only gained my freedom, but also received a large sum of compensation. In the end I left the city with my children and started a new life.